The Right Hook, sponsored by VHI Dental. Immediate cover for visits, cleaning and x-rays. Brought to you by Ireland's #1 health insurer.
Well, Patrick's Day is on the way. There'll be a green line down the middle of Fifth Avenue, and the Americans will be drinking green beer. What's our contribution to the Great Saints' Day? Well, strangely enough, it's alcohol, as if you didn't guess. Well, in the studio with me with a slightly different and, in my opinion, positive proposal is Matthew Dakers. He's a professional barman, and he's global brand manager for Stolichnaya Vodka. Matthew, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Now, before we get to the vodka, let's cut to the chase. What's good about this for Ireland? I said it's a positive story. What's the positive story?
Well, it's a great way to be able to serve a different style of the drink. You know, what we did is a variation on the Stolly Mule. So this is the Stolly Irish Mule. Now, the good thing about...
Mule as in donkey?
Yes. I mean,
okay.
the original cocktail was actually created in 1942, and it was because it gave a kick. The ginger beer with that bit of spice. And by doing a Stolly Irish Mule, what we, obviously, as a company, we are a global company, and we can, there's Irish people all around the world. So by doing this variation of this drink, we have a great kind of way to be able to serve these drinks all around the world, promote it as well, and promote St. Patrick's Day as well.
But there's an Irishman involved here.
Yes, that's right. We did a competition locally in Ireland where Irish bartenders kind of sent in recipes of their original Stolly Irish Mule cocktail. The winner was chosen, and actually it was a very local bartender in Dublin who won, and the ingredients he used reflected kind of modern Ireland.
Now, many people in Dublin would know Toner's Pub, and it's Usheen Kelly, so when you go in Toner's, ask for Usheen, and a Stolly Irish Mule. Okay, cocktails are primarily an American invention, aren't they? I mean, the whole idea of the Manhattan, and then we saw Bond going in, and Bond was looking for a vodka martini, shaken, not stirred, and so on, which in a way brought the cocktail to certainly I was a schoolboy, and, I thought this is the greatest thing ever. Imagine the girls I'm going to get with these cocktails. But if we do this, the whole thing is about, I remember Tom Cruise was in a movie and he was shaking and throwing up in the air and so on. So shaking's very important. Why is shaking important?
Well, shaking allows you to put a lot of ingredients together. It allows you to blend those flavors together quite quickly. The ice will break up, so dilution. Water is a very important part to a cocktail. You can't just drink straight booze all the time. And temperature as well. By shaking in a tin, these kind of tins kind of retain the temperature, make it colder for longer, so that when you actually strain the cocktail out the shaker, you get a very cold, perfectly diluted, chilled cocktail. All
right. Well, I was at Lord's Cricket Ground this year, and I got helplessly drunk on a drink I can't mention, but it is... it's a cocktail, but it's #1, and it's got all sorts of fruit in it. Now, why is fruit important? What does fruit do for the drink?
Fruit can be like a modifier almost. You have your alcohol, but generally what we tend to do is we tend to kind of base it around those fruit flavors. So with the Irish Mule, we have a little bit of orange juice in there, orange being one of the most kind of popular fruits, in cocktail history. It just adds extra flavors and dimensions to the drink. It lengthens it without strengthening the ABV as well. So, apple juice, orange juice, raspberries, fresh fruit,
okay.
It's healthy.
Now, Stolichnaya, I've been practicing all morning to say it. But what the company has done is to give it a shorthand title so that people around the globe, irrespective of accent or language, so it's just Stolly, is it?
That's right, yeah. I mean, if you go to America right now and order it, people actually ask for a Stolly and soda. It's like a brand called, a bit like Jack Daniel's, JD. It's kind of shortened to, so it's easier for everybody to say.
But we can get Stolly in Ireland.
That's right, yeah, it's available here.
Yeah, we can certainly, I hope, get it in Toners. All right, what have we put in this cocktail? Because I'm going to try it in a minute.
Yeah, no, so this is... I really do love this cocktail because some bartenders can come up with some confusing and crazy stuff, but this is quite simple, and sometimes the simple things are the best. This is a Stolly Irish Mule mixed with vodka. There's ginger beer in there, which is very hard to get hold of, but a very strong flavor with a little squeeze of orange juice as well, so fresh orange, and honey. And I believe when the bartender was telling me about why he made it, it was to kind of reflect the Irish man or a woman in terms of sweet, tall with red hair, so and green all through. I don't know. It was this is what I heard, and you know what I mean.
I'd love to know what stuff he was on when he made that. But
yeah, I think
yeah. But it's an interesting ingredient because you made the point ginger beer is hard to come by.
That's right.
Ginger beer is very hard to come by in Ireland. I mean, you can still get it fairly regularly in Britain, and it's something I kind of grew up with, you know. So anyway, am I going to try this or not?
Yes, please. Yeah, try it. As you can see, it's served in a copper mug. So this is to do with the story of the actual original mule when it was invented in 1942. It was created using ginger beer, a copper mug, and vodka with a squeeze of lime. That was the original one.
All right, okay. Now, the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland may be quite concerned about me sipping vodka while broadcasting, but I assure them that it's only just a sip. So here goes from a metal mug. I should smack my lips, shouldn't I?
Probably.
That's not bad, you know. I must tell Oisin down in Toners that it's really quite good.
And the copper mug as well keeps it colder, doesn't it? So when it touches your lips, it has that really chilling effect.
Yeah, the secret of the cocktail for fellas like me, of course, who aren't drinkers as such, like I don't drink pints of beer and stuff like that. The cocktail is really quite a grenade because it's kind of sweet and tasty, and you kind of knock it back. Yeah, and then you get knock them back, and then like happened to me in Lord's cricket ground, they had to put me in the taxi.
Yeah, no, that tends to do that. And really good cocktails as well are always the ones that you don't really taste the alcohol, because if they're balanced perfectly, then really it's a unique flavour that you're tasting. All
right, now the brand of vodka, Stolichnaya. I mean, obviously vodka, the association with it is with Russia and throwing glasses into the fireplace and all that sort of good stuff. Well, we can't throw the mug in the fireplace because it won't break. But there's all these traditions around vodka, isn't that so? The thing about vodka on its own, and you're a professional barman, and my guest is Matt Dakers, who's here as the global brand manager for Stolichnaya Vodka. No taste, no smell, is that right?
Yeah, that's something that came from America when it was introduced into their country. But one of the things I always like to talk about when I talk about vodka is what vodka actually means, what the word vodka means. A lot of people don't know this, but it means little water. And this refers really to what does whiskey mean? I'm sure you can answer that question, water of life. So,
the original Gaelic is Ishkabaha.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
So really, I love the idea that vodka and whiskey have a lot of similarities to them. One's aged, one's not. There's a few other little things that change, but, at one point, they were kind of almost created for the same reason.
But the Russians, I mean, you're a professional at this, the Russians would tend to just drink vodka neat, wouldn't they?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, they have a few unusual kind of things that they do it with. Like, so they, if you open a bottle of vodka, you must finish it. They don't allow to have like half bottles sitting around. Usually when you go to a birthday party or a wedding, it's you always bring a bottle of vodka. But I'm sure the same's, in kind of Ireland with whiskey maybe as well. And it's these traditions, isn't it, of drinking it.
All right. Well, of course, there is wonderful tradition around drinking, as my guest, Matt Dakers, says. But here on the week of our Saints' Day, it's really good news that an Irishman invents a new cocktail. Remember, it's Oisin Kelly of Toners Pub here in Dublin. So if you're up for the holiday, you can always drop into Toners. If you're here anyway, normally you could drop into Toners anyway and make Oisin Kelly quite famous as the man who invented the Stolly's Irish Mule. And the man in control of the whole thing, of course, is my guest, Matt Dakers. Matt, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.